Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about how to take notes in our maternal child health section. So we're going to be dealing with two types of patients. We're going to be dealing with women and children. We're also going to be dealing with pregnant mothers as well as women who are coming for other services like family planning or pap smears, etc. So first what I want you to do is go into a patient record. Then I want you to find your clinical tree on the left hand side of your page. When you find that, I want you to look for maternal child health in your clinical tree. We're going to be dealing with a pregnant mother first, so I'm going to ask you to select Women's Health Clinic Notes. With a single left click, we can open our Women's Health Clinic Notes section. Here we can cover our antenatal women with our first time antenatal notes and follow-up antenatal notes. We can cover women who are coming for family planning services with our family planning record. We can cover our mothers who are coming for their postnatal review. And we can cover persons who need vitals and observations, which is usually most of these patients. You can also view previous notes that were written about this patient by clicking View History here in our left-hand pane. We can update the patient's appointment status to waiting or arrived or finished from this particular screen. We can also view any vaccinations that the patient may have had as well as add new ones. When I scroll down, I can see some key information about the patient, kind of like a face sheet. So their LMP, their EDD if one applies to them, their gestational age if one applies to them, gravidity, parity, etc. We can also see their blood group, HB, and some serology. We can even see some trends, for example, their temperature and respiratory rate trends, their heart rate, glucometer trends, hemoglobin, and BMI. Once we enter that information, it automatically populates. Now let's talk about our antenatal patients. When I select my first time antenatal notes, it will open a screen that says antenatal care record. I have a separate video that can show you how to use this record when you click this button that says watch tutorial, but essentially it will cover all the information that is currently in your maternal care record for the patient. You can see the information displayed in these boxes here. And in order to add more information, we ask you to click these buttons here. This is where you add the information, and this is where you see the information that you've added. You can also go to view history to view any information that you've added as well. When you want to close it, you can go to the bottom of the screen and select close. That can be found right here. This is going to be the typical pattern for how you document for women's health. So let's talk about family planning. If I want to record information around family planning for a patient, I can select my family planning record, which opens a similar screen. Again, here's where I see some basic information reflected, and here's where I can add information. I can see information about the patient's contraceptive use, any vitals, physical examination and lab investigations, and any particular notes for our family planning visits and continuations record here. If I want to see the notes show up in these boxes, I'm going to select the record notes here button to enter that information. So let me show you an example. Current method, let's say it's an oral contraceptive pill, progestin only. I'm going to click OK, and it reflects here. When I want to close it, I can select the close button at the bottom of my screen to go back to my original page. For our postnatal review, when I left click on it, it takes me to a form that allows me to review my patient postnatally. I can click OK to get back to my original screen. When I finished, I can ensure that I click Save so that my information is saved in the patient record. To recap, we've covered how to look at our women's health clinic notes, how to make antenatal care notes, family planning record notes, and postnatal reviews. We've also covered how you see the information versus how you input the information. I hope this was helpful, and thank you very much for watching.